You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
Goodness gracious, Annie, bar the door. What happened to the weather?
I know.
Oh.
June bad.
I don't like it.
You know, they call it an Arctic blast.
Is that what it's called?
When it's from Canada, and it's from Canada. So we got this from Canada, and Justin Bieber's from Canada. And I'm starting to trust them less and less, quite frankly. Quite frankly. Big birthdays today. Kirk Douglas is...
that guy's super talented.
You know what? He's 102.
Holy
cow.
I know, right? Yep. Born and raised in Amsterdam, New York.
Wow. I did not know he was that old.
Contrary to what Democratic presidential candidate Cory Booker says, Kirk Douglas was Spartacus.
Yes, he was.
Never seen him in that 1960 classic. Dial it up. It's awesome. As far as TV goes, it was this very day, this very evening, 1965, A Charlie Brown Christmas first premiered.
Really?
Yep. Peanuts' first animated special on CBS. Love that dance scene and love it when Linus takes the spotlight, telling Charlie Brown the true meaning of Christmas.
That is pretty darn cool. That was very different to have, a cartoon actually reading from the Bible on network television.
Fantastic.
Charles Schultz was pretty cutting edge. He was pretty cutting edge. There's a little Linus spotlight, please. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, etc., etc., etc. It's all good. There you go, Charlie Brown.
Something
One thing
like
led
that.
to another.
Like you can't memorize the whole thing. One thing led to another, and lo and behold, baby Jesus.
Love it. Well, thank you, Dan.
You bet.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thanks, Heidi, for the assist. That was awesome.
It's Christmas abridged. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I love to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Heidi and John. Little radio rangers at home. Brrr, gather around the radio, little rangers, and feel the warmth. Ranger Dan lays a little critter knowledge on you. We've been in the holiday spirit here the past couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about, first foremost, I think the last little while about reindeer, because reindeer, of course, famous 8 reindeer, and there's actually 9 when you think about it. If you go way back in history, who's pulling Santa's sleigh? Original historians, it was actually a dozen.
Really?
There were 12 original reindeer.
What happened to the others?
As time went by, what with fuel emission regulations in California and whatnot, they had to cut back. That's all there is to it. Now, we talked about the meaning of the names of, what was it, Donner and Blitzen just the other day, which translates into thunder and lightning.
Like that.
Well, we're getting a little deeper here, a little heavier here. Now, most folks think that maybe them reindeer is all males. We know Rudolph is, because Rudolph is referred to as a him.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But when you dig into it, the fact of the matter is, with the exception of Rudolph, all the rest of those reindeer are female.
Really?
Really?
And here's why. According to a couple of professors at the University of Edinburgh, which I've never been, Santa's reindeer are actually all female because male reindeer shed their antlers during the winter.
Oh.
While female reindeer retain their antlers in all their glory. And Santa's reindeer, of course, are always depicted with their antlers in full bloom.
Yes,
Male reindeer also lose nourishment, vitality, and a great deal of weight during the winter months.
Okay.
So only the females and Rudolph are strong and healthy enough to pull Santa's sleigh.
All righty.
So
Well, that's excellent information, Ranger Dan.
you got to ask yourself, is Rudolph doing that naturally, or maybe a little supplemental male enhancer going on there? More on that next time. Ranger Dan's Critter Corner. Hey, little radio rangers, you know the drill. Go to church, say your prayers, stay in school. Eat vegetables. Don't be playing soccer. Don't let me catch you wearing Crocs. It's Ranger Dan out. Yes, sir.
Again, Ranger Dan's Critter Corner on Sunny 93.3.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for Water Cooler Talk. Brought to you by Aqua One. Mr. Dan Farris in the studio right now with some news that we can all appreciate this time of year. No? Yes?
Don't pressure me, John.
Okay.
Well, there's hubbubbery again out of City Hall and other high government places.
Okay.
I need to thank my colleague and best friend who I've never met, Todd Epp, down at Kello, filing this story, which I'm completely stealing.
Nice. Thank you.
Dayline Sioux Falls. First President Donald Trump, then Senator Stace Nelson, who's actually pretty groovy and stepping down from his position. And now Teresa Staley. Have you been following this, the social media hubbubbery?
No.
All these people have either tried to or have, in fact, blocked people on their pages.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
Okay, and there's a couple of different dynamics at work here. If it's a government business page, you can't do that. That's against the law.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now, it's come home to roost with Teresa Staley, and, you know, we all know her, and she's really active on social media, and her stuff's usually positive or pretty darn informative or whatever. But there's knuckleheads out there.
Oh,
Yeah, of course.
There's knuckleheads everywhere. You know what? Social media is Satan's playground.
Yes, it is.
Could be.
That's kind of how it's works. So what's going on here? On the Facebook group Sioux Falls Politics, Teresa Staley has been accused of blocking people she doesn't agree with from her Facebook page.
I don't think that it's just people she doesn't agree with. It's people who are being really rude to her and others, I think.
To other people on the page.
Correct,
as well.
but it depends. Is it your personal page or is it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For instance, we have several pages. For instance, we have the Sunny Radio page.
Yeah.
Now, I will treat that completely different than I do my personal page.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually have two personal pages.
Oh.
One is for, you know, kind of business out there, this and that, and the other one is for who I really am.
Oh.
And after 10 years, that has 5 friends.
I started out with 43
But
people.
I'll tell you what, it's my favorite. So, but this is actually a brouhaha, and other city councilors are weighing in going, look, you know, by law, you have to do it this way. You have to do it this way. And as far as so yeah, it's a humbug. But to me, it's like, okay, if I'm doing a page and somebody is personally attacking me, even if it's a business page we're administrating, which is different than a personal page, I'm still pretty tempted to go, hey, you know what? You're gone, dude.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But because some of this stuff is, in fact, government.
Yep, I get that.
And there are laws in place, rules in place, regulations in place, because, darn it, the government just never stops giving to the people. If their fingers ain't in every pie, well, what's the point of even going on? So we'll see what happens. You know, I'll get, she calls me a lot, so I'll ask her about it.
Nice. Get back to us with that.
Yeah, I will. I just Wow. I wish we'd just go back to the days where if you wanted to talk to somebody, you just
Talk to him in person.
Just walked down the block and said, hey, sup?
Yeah. The sad thing is, when you're behind the keyboard, people will say and do things they would never do in person.
Yeah.
And I think that's,
It's entirely true.
Keep that in mind. When you're typing something, if you're going to do it, somebody somewhere is going to read this. And I just think if you would be polite to one another, you wouldn't have this kind of thing. You wouldn't need to block anybody.
I don't post a lot, and here's why. And sometimes people will mention that. They go, you've been in and out of radio and broadcast, blah, 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 blah. You're always saying stuff, and I almost never see you post anything on Facebook. What I will do is I have typed in a number of things, and then I will look at it, rethink it, and then delete. Because I know in my world, in my life, in my mind, it's generally, hey, Dan, first thought wrong.
Yeah.
First thought wrong, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't throw a lot out there.
Yeah, I comment on a lot of things that I probably shouldn't, and I'm like, I'm going to just shut up now.
Or generally, first thought, hilariously true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But someone's going to blow a gasket, and I don't need that.
I post all my first thoughts.
She does.
She does.
And then I delete everybody who's rude.
Heidi's like a hero to me.
When
When I grow up, I want to be like Heidi.
She cannot run for office, though. That's why.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for the Maverick Recruiting Sunny Radio Top Gun of the Week.
Got the need for speed. Look at the hot girl in the bar. I'm going to sing to her. You never close your eyes anymore. Wait a minute. She likes girls too.
So we've got this every Monday. My favorite thing has got to be the theme song, by the way.
I agree. It's fantastic.
It's a humdinger of a theme song. But with the help of our friends at Maverick Recruiting, we reach out each week and we find somebody who has gone above and beyond, who is the top gun in their field. And then Heidi reports. And this week you've got a good report for who our winner is going to be of the top gun of the week.
Of course.
All right. Who is that going to be?
Well, we recently started working with a furniture store here in town.
Yeah.
Right? And who is that?
Steinberg's Furniture.
Steinberg's. They're amazing.
Dan and Diane.
Good folks, yes.
Mr. Farris took us into the store the other day so that we could explore, and I, of course, immediately found something that I had to have.
John and I forgot that. Bringing Heidi into
a furniture store.
Like that. Oh, and in short order. Yeah.
She's like, I need to get this.
Like,
now we'd like to report that because Heidi visited, now Dan and Diane can retire early.
My favorite part was in the back. They have 12,522 rugs.
Oh, my gosh. Their rug selection is
and
amazing.
Great prices, too. And it was awesome because some dude came in while we were there, and he was back minding his own business, looking for a rug. And we all
suddenly,
Heidi's missing. And then we hear her in the back selling this dude on rugs.
Yeah, having never been to the guy's house or even knowing him, she goes, this will really tie your place together. And look, it's 50% off.
I sold him a rug pad, too. I hope when the guy came back to help him with it that he made sure to capitalize on that upsale that I had going because he needed one.
But we were in there to talk to Dan. Super nice dude from Steinberg Furniture.
It was fantastic. I was blown away at the rugs. I used to sell rugs. I used to work at a very upscale furniture store, and I sold rugs. And I can say without a doubt, their rug prices in there are phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, literally any place else you go, you're going to be paying 5-6 times that amount for a decent sized area rug. And he has so many rugs.
I got a feeling there's a rug in my future, Dan.
No, there are literally thousands of rugs. And you can't tell if you've driven by something and never been in.
Yeah.
It's kind of jaw-dropping when you walk in there.
It's a lot bigger in there than I thought it would be.
Yeah, because maybe you're thinking, he's got a couple dozen rugs, 50 rugs. No, it's thousands.
No, it is so many rugs, and they are gorgeous and beautiful quality, any kind you could want.
Well,
I just can't say enough about it. I was blown away.
And Dan was awesome. He helped you buy a really cool wine
Yes,
print.
he did.
So we're all Heidi's all hooked up.
It was a giant canvas.
That's cool.
Painting. Yeah, it's
Very nice.
fantastic. I love
So
it.
hats off to Dan at Steinberg's Furniture. He is our Top Gun of the week. Also want to say thank you to Maverick Recruiting, John and the folks at MaverickRecruiting.com. They get awesome people and awesome businesses and put them together. So if you're an awesome person looking for a great opportunity, reach out. Or if you happen to be an awesome business looking for more awesome people, reach out. All of that available at MaverickRecruiting.com.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Those celebrities are fabulous. They're nothing like you and me. We're just a bunch of low-life slugs. But hey, chin up. We can live vicariously through them, can't we? Sure we can.
Sure.
I know I do. Let's talk a little J-Lo here. You know, Jenny from the block. Jennifer Lopez.
Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block. She used to be just like me and you. Not anymore.
Better.
She's making the talk show circuit. Her latest movie, Hustler, which is about strippers, which kind of bombed at the box office, is
really?
being released on Blu-ray, DVD, whatever. So she's making the circuit, trying to talk it up. And apparently she wants America and anybody else who will listen to know that there were no stunt dancers in that film. She did all of her own pole dancing.
Fantastic.
She's just adamant about it. She was just on Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, close personal friend of mine who I've never met in my life. J-Lo, quote, "I have the bruises, and I have the pictures to prove it."
Is that how she said it?
You can't tell that wasn't her, can you?
I thought you were J-Lo for a second there.
Found an audio clip.
Holy cow.
In fact, J-Lo says she recalled being totally upside down with her legs wrapped around the pole while filming a dancing scene. And she says, my face was all crunched up and I probably looked like a bat. But I said, hey, shoot this. Make sure you shoot this so people know that there were no stunt pole people in here.
That's how Dan does the program, by the way.
What she said. She told Jimmy, another quote, no doubles in this movie.
Can't wait to see the movie now. If that's how she's talking about it.
At some point, she said, oh, no, you didn't. So, yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time on this report, but it's pretty much the gist right there. That's pretty much the meat of that whole thing.
Frosting on the cake. You didn't dig into the filling. It's good enough. It's good
Jenny
enough.
on the block.
Well, thank you for that report, Dan.
It was my pleasure, John.
It's literally the least you could do.
And yet I'm exhausted.
Well, thank you for the entertainment news of the day right here on Sunny 93.3.